Hi YouTube, it's Janelle here, also known as MissBeHelpful. If you're watching my video for the very first time, definitely subscribe to this channel. I post videos here every single week to talk about money because what I noticed as a young person in America is that a lot of people don't actually talk about money. You never get a chance to learn about money. And so topics related to money like investing and saving and budgeting and all these things could seem really complicated by the time that you need to start #adulting. But the reality is it's not that complicated. It really is not. So I'm here to break it down for you and show you that it can be really easy to understand and fun to learn about. I post videos every week. And this specific video is going to be talking about a topic that's kind of underneath personal finance. It's called behavioral finance. And the reason why this is so important to me is because it has to do with your everyday behaviors. And the only reason that somebody like me who grew up very, very poor, low income, not a lot of access to money or a lot of resources, but the reason why somebody like me was able to change my life completely and now become debt free and have a lot of extra income is because I changed my behaviors. So I'm going to jump into talking about this guy. His name is Steve Quartz, and he did a bunch of research on people's brains in California at the California Institute of Technology. So one of the things that they noticed, right, is let's say they took my brain, put it under the MRI machine, and they show me something that I believe is cool. That could be like a MacBook computer. What else do I think is cool? Like expensive jewelry or a Louis Vuitton purse or some Balenciagas or something. Whatever it is that people look at and be like, oh, that's cool. So they show me a picture of that and immediately, or even just like looking at it, like they show me a laptop, they show me a pair of sneakers. I'm looking at it and then they study the brain, what the brain is doing while I'm looking at those things. The crazy part about this is that your brain behaves in the same exact way when you're looking at things that you think are cool as it does when you're doing substances like taking cocaine or when you're winning at gambling, things like that, that kind of activate the front part of your brain and gets you like really, really, really excited and high off energy and like all this, chemicals going on off in your brain. And so that is kind of why when we're online or we see certain things and we think it's cool, it makes us want to spend our money to buy that stuff, So when we see advertisements on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, when we hear something on the radio about a concert and there's an artist that's coming to perform that we think that artist is so cool and so popping and we want to spend hundreds of dollars to go see them in concert. We do this with clothing brands. Every time you see a brand on a shirt or on a coat or on a jacket or a backpack and you think that that brand is cool, you're going to be willing to do whatever it takes to get that same backpack on your back. Because what it is that your brain is trying to tell you that if you get those things that are cool, people around you will think that you are cool. So it's basically like anticipating the reward that you're gonna get when other people look at you and think about how cool you look or tell you that you're cool. Brands, they know this, and so they're starting to manipulate people like crazy. They're starting to present their product as cool. So they'll show you celebrities wearing the headphones or, pictures of a certain person who has a really good reputation wearing the brand or sponsoring the product or whatever it is, right? Or partnering with the product. And that way, when you see people on your newsfeed that you like and you look up to, they use certain products, it makes you more likely to do the same thing. And so that's, in a lot of ways, people see that as a good thing, right? Because they're like, oh, well, at least, you could find products and different things that you might like through people that you look up to, right? But the reality is the more money that a company has, the more money they can afford to pay somebody to wear their products or to sport their stuff and rock their gear just because they're getting a paycheck, right? So that's why it becomes dangerous. And this is what I think is a really bad thing because you don't necessarily even have a choice anymore to make a decision about or to form your opinion about whether you think something is cool or not. Because what it is you just immediately, your brain is making you think it's cool because your chemicals are going crazy. Like if you just won at gambling, you're so hyped off of this energy. So you're not really thinking clearly because your brain is being messed with. You're not able to make a decision like, you know what, now that I actually look at these Balenciagas, they're kind of ugly. I don't really want these on my feet, right? Like you don't think like that. And this happened to me so much in my life. That's why when I started learning about behavioral finance, I got so into it. Because when I was in college, I remember like my sophomore year, I was, away on a college campus, living my life, and all the other girls on my campus were wearing Uggs. In the state that I went to college in New England, it's very cold in the winters. I mean, it snows a lot, it rains all the time. So everybody was wearing Uggs in the winter. And I had never considered getting a pair of Uggs because in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, you get made fun of if they see you wearing those boots. And literally, like, I never considered buying them because of that. And so then next, everybody in my college is wearing them, and I'm seeing that, oh, this is considered to be cool on campus. And I felt the pressure. Immediately, the same thing happened to me. My brain, all the chemicals are going off. Oh my God, if you get these pair of Uggs, people are going to think that you're cool too. You're going to fit in. And so I gave into the pressure, and I think I spent like, I don't even know, maybe like $180 or something, $150 on a pair of brown Uggs. And I was wearing them around campus, going to class, doing whatever, thinking that it was so cute. But the reality is, it hit me when I came back home, and my brothers and sisters and my friends on the block, my cousins, all my friends from back home were like, ew, what are you doing? You're wearing these ugly boots. You know, they're called Uggs because they're ugly. Ew. And like, they just started making fun of me and just roasting me for having these boots. And so like, in one place, I'm wearing them and I'm considered cool. And that pressure around wanting to be cool made me buy something that I know real well that I don't personally think that they look cute. I knew that I didn't like them because at home, people made fun of them. I had already seen them on people's feet in New York, and my family in Brooklyn. I would be like, oh yeah, no, those are not cute. Those are ugly. I wouldn't really pay money to wear them. And yet somehow I went ahead and did it anyway because my brain was anticipating that reward that I was going to get when people on campus saw me wearing Uggs. And so it's just funny how, you don't make good choices. You don't make good choices with money. You don't make good choices with your, friends, socially. All the decisions that you start making, especially decisions around money, just start to become bad choices because you can't think clearly. You're being manipulated by, the pressure and by ads. And so it's just really important for you to, one, be aware that this is happening. You have to recognize and just know, first of all, that this is something that happens. That when you see something that you believe or you perceive that thing to be cool for whatever reason, because it's expensive or because everybody has one, then you're going to be manipulated. When you think about that, your brain is going to be doing something that you can't control. It's biological, right? And so you have to be aware of that so that when you see an ad or when you see somebody wearing it, you can pause and say, oh, this is that thing that's happening with my brain right now where I'm responding to this product or to this brand because I think that if I have it, I'm gonna be cool. So you just have to be aware of it, especially the younger that you are, middle school and high school. You guys are growing up in a world where literally you could go on Amazon.com and look around for a good pair of sneakers. Maybe you don't find one that you like, but 5 minutes later, you go on Facebook or Instagram and you see ads of the exact same sneakers that you just looked at on Amazon. So even though you didn't like them, now you're thinking, oh, maybe this is a sign because I was just looking at them on Amazon and now I see them here. Maybe I'll get them after all. And so you're more likely than anybody else before you on this planet to be manipulated in this way by these companies, these brands, these products. So be aware of it so that you can at least pause and take 2 extra seconds to think through how you're going to spend your money, because very quick to just click and buy something, and then it comes in the mail and you can regret it. You might not have wanted it or not thought through that decision very well, or you should have used that money for something else. You should have saved that money. You should have invested that money. You should have put that money in an emergency fund, or think about what else you need in your life that's more important than buying these things that people buy every single day just because they want to seem cool to other people. The last thing that I took from learning about this is that it doesn't end. It's not just for kids and teenagers to be aware of. Adults do this stuff all the time too. It's crazy. Adults, drive to work and look around and see my coworkers, what kind of car they got. Because if they have a cool car, maybe I'm going to, get at least another car that's cool too, so that I can have a car like the one that my coworkers have. People look at the houses on their street, hey, what did they do to the front of their house? Maybe they have a new lawn and put up a gate. Maybe I should, update and spruce up the front of my house too. And it's if that was not in your plans and you don't have that in your budget, why are you going to do that just so you could keep up with the people around you? So adults do this too. It's not just kids. It's not just teenagers. Everybody is susceptible to this type of, phenomenon. It happens to your brain. It's just not something that you can really control. But as long as you know about it, you might stand a chance a little bit the next time it's happening, for you to at least be aware and kind of pause and take a minute to really think to yourself, nah, this is not really what I want. This is just me getting manipulated and tricked right now, but I need to not purchase this thing because I already have a plan for my money. I know I have savings goals. Let me stick to that instead. So hopefully this was helpful and informative. If you have not seen the video that I was talking about where they put the brain in the MRI machine and all of that, and you want to see a little bit more, there's a PBS documentary. It's like a quick video that's I linked below in the description box. Check it out because it's super informative. It has like way more scientific information for you guys. I just put it in my plain English, but they actually describe the scientific stuff, the terminology, the part of your brain and all that. So it's really interesting. Check it out. And that's all I have for you guys. If you have a question or comment, definitely put it below in the comment section. But you can also email me at MissBeHelpful@gmail.com. I respond to as many emails as I possibly can. If you have a question, most likely I will get back to you within a week. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you can give a call to the number on the screen. That's my Google Voice number, so I'll listen to your message, post it on the channel, and make a video in response. And then, as always, you guys can find me on social media. I put stuff on Facebook, I put stuff on Instagram, and I put stuff on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. So you guys can find me on those places. I'm a lot more active on Instagram, but you can still find me on social media and reach out and connect with me. And that's all I have for you guys. So till next time, peace.